Well, good evening, everybody. It looks like everyone is incredibly excited because they can see stuff on the screen. That's right, it's time as we start to really reach the tail end of week 4 of the Dragon Warrior Randomizer tournament. I am Demarine2, and I am joined tonight in the broadcast booth by Emptyeye, the man himself. How are you doing tonight?
I love it. I'm doing well. Got some decaf coffee here, and I'm ready to go here.
Yep, I got a bottle of water and a bottle of Gatorade, so I am ready to do some talking as well.
I don't know that coffee is really the best thing for talking, but it's not a smart idea, which is why it's a great idea. So
Good.
tonight we have Ursinedasyure taking on Vriaeliss. A 2-in-1 matchup. The winner will be moving on to the bracket stages. So very important for both runners here.
Yeah, avoiding that 2-2 win-and-in match next week was probably going to be a good idea. You've got a shot at a pretty evenly matched opponent here. So it's these are two very good runners who play pretty similarly, except for builds, of course. It looks like Vriaeliss is on the strength agility build tonight.
Yes, and then Ursine has the strength HP build. That's what those little pluses that you see are next to these stats. And great question from Lorgon in chat. Yes, in addition to the kind of standard flag set, our runners have also enabled Short Charlock tonight. We'll talk a little bit about it as we get there. But in the meantime, race is just about to begin. See the go in the race chat, so we should be getting started on stream here shortly.
Yeah, I mean, our runners do start with some decent stats, at least. Double-digit strength, which we've not seen a ton of this tournament, it feels like. Near 19 and 18 agility, respectively, for our two runners as well. So we'll see if they can get off to a bit of a quicker start than we've seen a lot of seeds get off to in this tournament. So,
yes, and the other big thing is that they'll be starting off with the return spell. It means they won't need to use their key to get out of here. And some gold. So that would make the obvious play to cast return, go get more keys, and kind of proceed from there.
Yep. So that is a full set of keys for both our runners right off the bat, as well as armory access. So they'll know what's in those 4 chests on top of everything else here. So this should be a fairly nice start, honestly. All things considered, because they will have some resources to play with, and they'll know immediately if there's a gold grind on the table or not. Plus, they'll know what Bind Tentagel is.
Yes, indeed, and we see both our runners making the obvious play here to go grab more keys. Getting keys early on, huge if you can manage it. In this case, they had the gold in the treasury as well, which lets them max out their key stash. So now anything they find that requires keys, they're not going to have to come back. They're not going to have to try and find Urmildar. They're good to go here.
They also don't need to find one of the 2 major turn-in caves, as the Staff of Rain cave is sitting behind Tentagel Castle. And Vriaeliss finds the first encounter of the run, punches the slime for 3 damage, and is in the lead right now. Obviously, they are now going to win this race.
Yes, on percentage basis, they are infinitely far ahead of Ursine. And there is a gold grind in play here, the center chest.
Also finding the Fairy Flute and the Fighter's Ring, so we know that one search spot's out of play. The Fairy Flute could be in a search spot, but not tonight. And the Fighter's Ring will get us up to 12 strength to start, so this Magician is within reach right off the start here.
Yeah, with the combined strength and agility, I think Ursine could have punched that Magician very slowly, but could have punched it to death. Yeah, as we see Vriaeliss doing 2 damage here, which means the damage range would be 1 to 2 at the very least.
But it is assured damage, and the Magician's only hitting for what looks like 1 to 3, so this should be well in the realm of doable.
Indeed. Meanwhile, we see Drakies have heal. Not exactly what you want to see, but we get our first level up here.
A 4, 10, 2, and 4. This is an agility-heavy seed so far.
Yeah, nice agility boost there. The rest of it is kind of meh, but
But wow,
punched all the way back to Tantagel by that
they're
goal.
but they're not far. They were just north of the castle, maybe 4 rows. So it looks like the zone line break is like right there. So an experienced runner might know that they could explore south pretty safely, but Vriaeliss doesn't run into the golem and instead finds the first 2 towns of the match. That's Hawk's Nest.
Yep, not very useful right now. And the other one, Garanham, that is going to be useful. They do have enough money for a hand axe here if there's one available, which there is.
Looks like they're going to pop the door and see maybe if they can get their hands on Erdrick's sword here. Maybe they get real lucky and they don't need to spend that 560.
Maybe that is a savvy play there. Forge some more gold. And another torch. Looks like they're gonna... Uh-oh, are they blocked by an NPC there? Yes. Uh-oh.
Go out the back, go out the back!
Yeah. Alright, now this old man is gonna do some shopping. Oh boy. NPCs are the true final boss.
Likely, looks like that Vriaeliss' plan is going to be to leave town and come back in one more time, grab one more chest of gold, and possibly grab a broadsword to start, which would be a great start.
Yeah, that would be a very nice start. Yes, NPCs are the true final boss. I remember the first Dragon Warrior Randomizer tournament, my second race against Nest Cardinality, the roaming guard in the throne room blocked my path for what seemed like a solid minute. It was probably better off just resetting and starting the seed over. It was awful. NPCs, man.
Yep, so we found that Drakeys also have baby breath, by the by. Ursine did survive the first shot of it, though, to kill one, and they're sitting even on... and Ursine found Swamp Cave North here, it looks like.
Okay. Ursine taking out that red slime. Oh, metal slimes with Hurtmore. That's not what you want to see.
Well, any dream of randomly getting 255 experience this seed is all but dead.
Yeah, that's not good at all. As CD Improv noting, they cannot run because the strength is not there for a metal slime to run, and metal slimes have stupid high agility, which is why they have such stupid high defense. And the side effect of that is the metal slimes are also going to be very difficult to run from.
Alright, well, Vriaeliss with the first real game breaker of the seed here picks up the broadsword, adds on leather armor, so a tiny bit of defense, all 4 of it, but the broadsword is going to help the cause immensely, as you can see the 20 additional attack power already right off the top.
Yeah, basically doubling his attack power, in fact, slightly more than doubling at this point. That is going to be a big help, especially since it doesn't look like we have Hurt or Hurtmore yet.
Yeah, but that...
Go ahead.
Yeah, it brings, like, Scorpions into play, that brings, Druids into play. It possibly even brings, like, up to Warlocks into play right now, which is actually pretty good, honestly, for the early game.
Yep, and meanwhile, we have the Jerk Cave in the back of Garanham. Affectionately call him the Jerk, because if you talk to him without having all of the key items necessary to get the rainbow drop, he acts like quite a jerk, actually.
He has no chill at all. It's kind of amazing. That is 40 MP at level 3.
Yes, it is. And a new spell, which is Stop Spell. Which may actually prove handy against those metal slimes if Vriaeliss is fortunate/unfortunate enough to run into one.
Vriaeliss is trying to chase down some strong encounters, or at least get some exploration done over these plains here, but with the broadsword, but not finding anything that they can really take out here, so he is just getting a little bit stonewalled right now.
Yep. Meanwhile, Vriaeliss validating the run, checking the Spark Over Bridge. Unfortunately, nothing there. His reward for checking the Spark Over Bridge and validating the run is to be sent back to Tantagel by the Fun Police.
Yeah, that's not always not a good look, certainly. Gets pulled over and gets sent home because, you can't go too fast in a seat like this, even with a broadsword in hand.
Yes, indeed. For those new, maybe watching for the first time, we call them the fun police because when you find them, the fun tends to end. Red Dragons, basically the strongest normal enemy in the game. Very high strength, very high agility. That one, we don't know if it had any particular abilities, but Red Dragons do not need abilities to make your day miserable.
Yeah, they clamp down and they will ruin your day, certainly. Speaking of having her day ruined, Ursine finds another metal slime who, spits fire and sends her packing as well.
Yep. We thought we wanted the metal slimes to come out of hiding, because maybe we can stop spell them. That metal slime was having none of that.
Yeah, as you can see the difference in enemies that our two runners can be fighting off right now is Vriaeliss with a full stack of herbs here is going to find the third count of the matchup here.
Yeah, hiding down in the swamp there. And it's coal. This could be big.
I mean, we do know that one search spot is out right now, so we don't necessarily know that this is great. There's full plate and a flame sword for sale here, though, so decent targets for the gold grind, but not a silver shield yet.
Right, the silver shield would be the big one. And there is armor there. Wow.
The coal hype is real. Coal is in full effect here.
Yes, coal exists. Vriaeliss not going to bother with the item shop, apparently. There is an item shop in coal, but it's very out of the way, and/or it requires the use of a key to get to it. So not particularly worth it. When we know there are other item shops already in play. There's level 5, a nice 11 strength, and another 10 magic points.
As soon as they get something that they might want to cast, they'll be in great shape for magic here.
Yeah, you can see at level 5 the magic already up into the orange zone. So our tracker here is kind of color-coded, and when you see an orange stat, what that means is you may or may not be good with it for defeating the Dragon Lord. It's kind of what I like to call context-sensitive. It sort of depends on what your other stats are looking like.
Yeah.
Right now, nothing else is particularly close, that's why it's in the white. When you see a stat in green, that means the stat is good, independent of any other stats that you might have.
Yeah, there's a lot of interplay within the stats if you want to try and push a dive into Charlock one level early, potentially, so you have to kind of think about it that way.
Yes, although our runner is today using short Charlock, which removes one of the potential pitfalls. There are definitely seeds where you take a look at the math, you kind of do the math in your head, and you go, well, okay, I've got a good shot if I can get down to the Dragon Lord with all my resources. And there are seeds where that second part, that if you get there with all your resources, is in fact a very big if. That will be much less of a factor this time around, however.
Vriaeliss picking up level 6, while Ursine picks up level 4. Level 6 was 1 strength, 5 agility, 6 health, and 7 more MP. So we are already sitting on 9 heal mores in our back pocket for the end game.
Yes, if only we had any HP to do anything to take advantage of those heal mores.
Look, with 36 hit points, you can survive one hurt more. That's like 2 chances to get an excellent move on a metal slime.
Yes, indeed.
Some momentary technical difficulties on Vriaeliss' side, nothing to worry about here. Ursine is going to be working through this, working through to level 5 here off of the Magicians now with the 21 strength and then of course we'll get a little bit more power on top of things, which will be nice. We'll get up to that, get up into those 30s soon enough.
Yes, indeed. Meanwhile, Vriaeliss looks like got sent back to the castle. And yes, Nitsky in chat, I did the same thing. So I'm giving Twitch their ad revenue, I suppose.
Vriaeliss finds out that there are golems close to home and then blows the fairy flute to get out for free, because the fairy flute has a 100% chance of sleeping them. You have to wait 8 seconds, but, you know, for a 100% chance to run, that can be very worth it a lot of the time.
Yes, indeed. Meanwhile, Vriaeliss has found the bonus cave, the Vanilla Stones of Sunlight cave, which has a key in it. And Ursine is going to hit level 5 here.
Looking at those spells and realizing that she still only got a stop spell in return right now, but, you know, scorpions are now easily within reach here with the additional damage, so I'm gonna work through that pretty quick. But it's a little tough because, again, Vriaeliss is far afield now with Erdrick's armor in place here.
Right, Erdrick's armor and the full complement of herbs. I don't know that Ursine has actually found a town yet.
She has not. She's gone in 2 directions, basically. Which is she's come back to this cave and she's sort of wandered around Tintagel. In this cave, of course, a wyvern pops up and ships her out. Vriaeliss finds a blue dragon in his wanderings, who decides to still be a dangerous enemy at this stretch of the game.
Yes, Vriaeliss stared down Eternity there and lost. And is back in the castle.
Yeah, I think the big thing right now is that sometimes this shows the power of sometimes getting aggressive early, making a move before you think you might want to, based on your luck. As Vriaeliss is, taking a bit of a lead, and that was actually not Swamp. That was Garen's grave.
This is the grave of Garen here, and I believe Vriaeliss is literally 1 experience point short of level 7. This Drakima is gonna do it for him. Unless it has something nasty we don't know about. Nope. One, 836 the level, no new spells. There are the Stones of Sunlight. Unfortunately, there's Metal Slime Friend. Oh, and now Metal Slime Chancellor, more, of course. And the token.
Wow, that's really big, because now Vriaeliss now knows beyond the shadow of a doubt that Hawk's Nest, completely useless unless it's got a good grind tile, doesn't need to worry about finding Cantlin, does not need the coordinates because they're out of play right now because we found all 3 searchable items.
Yeah, that is very big. So the only item that has to be in a searchable spot is Erdrick's armor. It can be in one of 3 spots. It can be in Coal, it can be in Hawk's Nest, or it can be somewhere on the world map. The other 2 items that can, but don't have to be in searchable spots are the Erdrick's token and the Fairy Flute. And as you mentioned, we've found all 3 of them, so you know that Vriaeliss does not have to find Hawk's Nest or Cantlin if they don't want to.
I mean, they do know where Hawk's Nest is, and it's likely they'll check it for a grind tile, but otherwise they're just gonna try and, work their way through the seed, most likely, at this point.
Right. Also, no particular reason not to check the Cantlin stores to see if you can find a silver shield, but if they don't find it, it's not the end of the world.
Yep. And, the gold grind would require a pretty decent hike afterwards, so you gotta kind of counterbalance that at that point. Yes, CD, Garenham was in the swamp above Tintagel right next to Hawk's Nest. which means that if a Hawksness grind exists and is good, that is a very easy place to head back to go ahead and patch yourself up.
And Vriaeliss finding Fairy Water in Grave Chest number 4. Unfortunately, getting punched by a Golem back to Tantagel before they can do the full dive.
Well, bad news is they're dead. Good news is they're about to print some money here.
Yes, indeed. Picking up a second Fighter's Ring, and Ursine just sniped the experience lead, taking out that metal slime. Stop spelling.
Yeah, five turn kill on that one. One to stick the stop spell, one miss, and 3 hits.
That's very nice.
Now if Ursine can lift the 3 chests here, she'll be very happy to know that she is just caught up in terms of items pretty easily.
Yeah, if she can find coal, then she's actually in great shape here, despite the beginning. She's done a very good job of kind of hanging in there early on in this seed.
You know, and then of course sometimes you just got to go ahead and make your own luck, and she caught a break taking down a metal slime too.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are on our way tonight at this point in time, and the seed is looking like it's gonna be unless the stats don't play nice. It looks like we're gonna be in for an exciting one, but we're gonna be in for a fairly quick.
Yep. And meanwhile, Vriaeliss grabbing a flame sword, which good play. You might as well. You have the gold grind kind of pre-set up. You know where the flame sword is. Why not go grab it? Especially as it was in coal, which is quite close to the castle.
Yeah, through some swamp, which is tough for exploration if you don't have a way to heal. But hey, having that now, just continuing to sort of extend that ability to fight. Of course, Ursine, not wearing a single piece of armor, gets just clamped down by a blue dragon for more than her maximum health total, and she gets shipped back to the castle.
Yep. Ursine apparently not opting for a gold grind there, which I guess makes some sense since I still don't think they've come across any towns yet. Alright, Ursine gonna take it. Nope, never mind.
I think particular outcropping here and seeing what's down south of Garen's grave here. It's a golem.
She has not had good luck with these golems, I have to say.
Vriaeliss is opting out of fighting the Magic Wyvern here and decides instead to take on the Spectre instead.
Vriaeliss playing it safe, using the Fairy Flute to get away from this golem.
Ursine takes one step too far and dies in the swamp there, while on the flip side of the coin, Vriaeliss has found... this is Erdrick's Tablet Cave.
Yep, I believe that is actually where Ursine would have gone. They were in the same general area of the map, I believe, if they had not run out of HP in that swamp.
Yeah, they were in the exact same spot, and Ursine looks like she's deciding to swing to the north here, looking at the Spectre, probably realizing she doesn't have the stats for it. I'm not quite sure of the shape of the map, if she's going to run into the double town cluster here, if she's going to be walking right around it.
There it is. Well, there's a town.
Yeah, the first town was Hawks. The second town, I believe, was the one that was Garanum.
That sounds right. Vriaeliss finding Brockenary.
I mean, they can't all be winners.
It's still worth checking the shop. A small shield. Gonna be another 4 defensive power.
I mean, every little bit certainly helps at this point.
Yes, indeed. Spells also have cheap healing if it happens to be near Sharlock. Oh, see, double validated. Checking a second spark over bridge. Obviously finding nothing.
Searching, knowing that he's going to find nothing, no less. He really wants this seed to be real valid.
Yes, indeed. And Urstein has found Garenham. Stock upon a torch.
You can at least find a little bit of money here. We'll see if she decides to burn off a couple of keys here to get to like broadsword money here to at least kind of get started.
Right, broadsword or even hand axe money.
Yep. And Vriaeliss' wanderings, though, have brought him a very important checkpoint there at level 8, which is the heal spell. So finally something to spend all of this mana on.
Yep, gonna opt to spend it on a heal in battle. I don't know if that was necessarily the best idea, given how hard that Magi Wyvern was hitting, but it worked out.
Taking stock of her keys, Ursine's, gonna get a second chest of gold here. Makes a lot of sense, honestly. CD Improv and chat, our restreamer, attempting to regale us with the good that is Brecconary, I guess, question mark. Also, shout out to Archfield Monk on tracking.
Indeed. I do have to say, I have in some seeds, when I've come across Brecconary at the very start, and the start has been very difficult, I have been grateful to go to Brecconary and get, like, a club and leather armor, or even a bamboo pole and leather armor. Because that is the difference between I cannot hit anything at all, how am I ever going to get an experience point, and okay, I can at least chip shot this red slime to death for a couple of experience and get going.
Yeah, I think Brecconary does get maybe a bit of a bad rap, certainly, but ultimately you take what you can get. I know that there was a race that I was commentating where Brecconary was right next to Charlotte Castle, which is great if you're gonna. It's great if you need to like hike across the world to get there because you've got a quick stopping point to patch yourself up. Everything is good in context.
That's right. Having said that, it is probably the least important town in the game in terms of finding something that's key, be it treasure chests like in Garenham, keys in Rimuldar, potential Erdrick's armor and coal. Brecconary has shops.
Yeah, but if it's close to home and it's got a silver shield and a flame sword, you're very happy for it.
Yep. Meanwhile, the fun police deciding Vriaeliss was having too much fun, sending him back to the start.
Yeah, I mean, making progress in this seed without him being impeded. We can't be having that today, can we?
Renlar asking in chat if Ursine just left Hawk's Nest without checking, and the answer is I actually didn't see, but I'm going to go with probably. At level 7, with no way of healing yourself, no hurt more, there's really nothing you can see in the spike tile that you're going to be able to defeat. I suppose, theoretically, you could spot a golem, fairy flute it, and chip shot it for 100 straight turns, but when that's the best case scenario, you're better off just not even checking anything at that point.
Yeah, there's certainly better things that you could be doing with your time right now. in Ursine's case, that better thing that she is doing right now is she is in this part of the world as well and finds a path to Breckenary, so is going to see that there is a, chainmail here, which she's going to pick up because, every little bit helps.
Yep, it is an improvement over the leather armor, and also going to pick up the small shield, presumably. Yes.
Oh man, Vriaeliss has found a couple of things here. Found that there is Sharlock, and there's a town just outside of Sharlock as well, and
That's very nice.
Sharlock.
That's going to be real there.
I'm gonna burn off 2 keys here to check the chest and hope to God that they get Erdrick's sword, I guess, in the one-shot chest here.
Yep, let's see what we have here. I'm hoping for a torch, personally, because I'm something of a troll. Is this even randomized, bro? The chest contained wings is also what it has in the vanilla game.
As a note for everybody who is watching, this is very randomized. This is incredibly randomized. This is absolutely randomized. Just because one thing is not randomized does not mean that the entire game is not randomized.
Yes, joking slash snark aside. When you randomize something just because of the sheer number of things that are randomized, the odds of one thing ending up kind of backwards started are actually a matter of what that item happens to be.
Anything but Erdrick's sword, please. Well, Ursine, good news, Ursine cleaned out Erdrick's tablet cave and got a key. Bad news, she's dead.
Meanwhile, Vriaeliss is back up here, and we do see there is a silver shield available in the keylock shop. And Vriaeliss gonna check for coordinates for some reason, even though... No, they knew that there was nothing there, or at least could have deduced that there was nothing there.
Ursine finding the good news here at level 8, though. Gonna find the heal spell, which will, which has the potential to prevent dying a lot of the time, which is always nice.
Yeah. Vriaeliss picking up a large shield in another Cantlin shop.
Ursine picking up a row of dragon's teeth stuck in her armor as she dies.
And Vriaeliss finding Swamp South.
So 31 minutes in, it feels like we're making pretty solid progress at this point, honestly, all things considered, through this seed.
Yeah, we have seen quite a bit. Give a brief recap of where some of the key items were. We are still looking for the Silver Harp, but the Stones of Sunlight and the Token, I believe, were both in Garen's Grave. The Fairy Flute was in the Cantigel Treasury. The Erdrick's Armor was in Cole.
Cole, of course, is just south of the start through a little bit of swamp, so it's kind of a tough explore early, and Vriaeliss kind of gambled it with an herb and was able to get there pretty easily and got the armor fairly early. Other things of note here, of course, is that there is no search item today. With the token and flute in boxes, we don't have to worry about searching for anything. So, Cantlin not quite as interesting as it could be. Hawksness is just there for the search tile. We don't need to rescue the princess, but Vriaeliss did give us a look at the swamp search tile, or the forced encounter tile in Swamp Cave, and it was a golem.
Of course it was. Meanwhile, a nice hit point boost at level 9, 22. The rest of the level okay as well.
Ursine dropping the excellent move on the Wyvern there for 64 experience points, and then gets ambushed by a Metal Slime who is out for blood, I guess, looking for some revenge.
Or Ursine. I think that's at least the third time I have seen her get ambush hurt more by a Metal Slime.
Yeah, they're ready for battle apparently. They're not turning and running either. They're just letting it fly.
That is right. And Vriaeliss, I think, finding out for the first time that metal slimes have hurt more.
I don't think that was for the first time, but he's decided to put his head down and take a couple of hacks at this metal slime and trying to heal through. Heal will not heal through hurt more even with the armor.
Yeah, that is. I think long term, that is a losing proposition. We see. But, oh, that's even better. The 50% heal more in addition to the 75% hurt more.
Can the metal slime actually cast heal more at one hit point? I'm really confused by that.
That's actually a good point, because I believe it's 1/4 or below that enemies can cast heal or heal more. So since they can't get to below 1/4, I think you're right. They can't actually cast it, despite it being in the skill pool. Also, the silver lining, the pretty low stop spell resistance, only 2 out of 16. And several people in chat confirming that metals cannot, in fact, heal or heal more.
So Vriaeliss with a pretty decent lead in terms of exploration I believe, is only missing the 5th chest in Garen's Grave and Mountain Cave at this point in time for treasure chests out in the world.
That is correct. We have not gotten that deepest chest in the grave, and we have not seen Mountain Cave at all, as far as I'm aware.
Yep, Ursine, I believe, is at 2 chests left in two chests left in Garen's Grave. Got killed on the way down through the door. Also has not found Rimmildar and found their vanilla set of wings there.
Question in chat: do enemies have an MP value that they deplete over time? They do not. They can just cast spells as much as they want. It's not until, I believe, Dragon Quest / Dragon Warrior 3 that enemies gain an MP pool.
Well, Vriaeliss let us know, though, green dragons are out here around Charlock Castle, but they have hurt more.
They do indeed. Luckily, they also look like they are pretty stop spellable. A nice, excellent move there.
It's a second straight dragon that's been felled via excellent move here by Vriaeliss. Maybe save it for later, I don't know. Ursine does take a moment to remind us all that chainmail is not adequate protection for fighting dragons, or running from dragons, or being around dragons, or considering petting dragons, so don't do it.
Right, despite the name of the game, Ursine is not, in fact, the Dragon Warrior as yet. Unless Warrior is a modifier of Dragon here, i.e. a Warrior that is also a Dragon. Oh, there we go, 0 agility! Ah, I love it! Finally, at level 10.
Took 9 levels for that. Jeez, I was expecting to not hear that at all tonight, which would have been kind of a bad thing, I guess.
Would have been good for our runners.
Yeah, I mean, our runners don't want to see 0 stat gains. They want to see all the numbers. They want to see the biggest of numbers.
Yes, indeed. And Ursine gonna grab her Erdrick's armor now.
And now it's time to kind of figure out the best way to catch up a 600 experience gap here, because we know here in the booth that the silver harp has to be sitting in either Mountain Cave or in chest 5 of Garen's Grave in the slightly less shuffled than usual look.
Yes, indeed. And I believe Ursine mostly knows that as well. There's still a few chests that she hasn't found, but for the most part, if she is in fact looking for the Silver Harp, she is looking for probably the Mountain Cave. Would be the odds-on play.
Yeah, if she runs into the single chest in Moldar, she'll be fine with that, I'm sure, but it's actually not what she needs ultimately. She needs to maybe catch a break and find the Mountain Cave first here.
Yeah. At level 10, we have 101 MP, which is a lot of MP for level 10.
That's pretty darn absurd, honestly. That is a solid dozen heal mores once we get to Sharlock dive mode.
It is. Sign finding the bonus cave here. Gonna grab another free key.
Vriaeliss fells a third green dragon via
Critical hit.
Jeez. But Ursine gonna get the knowledge of where the Dragon Lord's hiding. Not terribly far from the bonus cave.
That looks like a little bit south of the bonus cave.
Well, Vriaeliss' exploration isn't paying off. Hey, felling a bunch of green dragons is a great way to pick up a pretty big experience lead.
That'll get you a lot of experience rather quickly, yes. Uh-oh, meanwhile, this rogue scorpion here going to send Ursine back to the start. Rogue scorpions with the sleep spell. Ursine, unfortunately, casting the stop spell 1 round too late and getting attacked for exact HP value.
Yeah, it's a bit of a rough break. Here's level 11 for Vriaeliss here. 4 power, 1 agility, 2 hit points, 1 MP, so a pretty garbage level. No spell even.
Yeah, not a great level there, certainly. But in the course of a Dragon Warrior Randomizer seed, you're probably going to see 1 or 2 of those per seed on average. At least.
Do you want to see them? No.
You kind of accept the good and the bad that the randomizer gives you.
I mean, that is kind of the nature of the thing. For every level that nets you 70 plus total stat points across your 4 stats, there's the times that you get, like, 3.
Yes, it is possible, if extremely unlikely, to get, in fact, the quad Emptyeye level, where you just get nothing at all. You see thy hit points increase by 0, and that is the only message you get.
Speaking of finding the single chest here in Keytown, Ursine has traveled just south of Sharlock on her second hike, and is going to get, well, I guess Wings the Wyvern will qualify as nothing, because we do have return.
Right, not probably exactly what she wanted to see there, although if she does explore and completely tap out her magic resources, she can use it to bail out back to the castle.
Vriaeliss is exploring in the dark, and it looks like this is Mountain Cave.
Yes, that from the staircase that he just passed up, that does indeed appear to be Mountain Cave. And Mountain Cave has Axe Knights in it.
Oh, we like Axe Knights. I mean, we like the Morth Hurt more, but...
Oh, the big stick on top of Mountain Cave. Roderick's sword.
We're still going to need some more strength to get through this seed, but that's a good pickup, obviously. You never feel bad about finding Erdrick Sword.
Alright, you basically always want to find Erdrick Sword. Not technically required to beat the game, but the attack power boost it gives you over even the Flame Sword. You are, you're never going to be like, oh no, Erdrick Sword, what a disappointment.
It also doesn't have to be in a chest in the overworld. It can be in Charlock as well as in the vanilla game.
It can indeed. So finding it before you even get to Charlock is, a very nice big find. I have to say, Vriaeliss doing an impressive job of navigating this cave in the dark. The dark navigation, not something I want to ever attempt except for Swamp if I can help it. The bad news for Vriaeliss is that there is no Silver Harp here. So by process of elimination, I believe we have narrowed it down to its vanilla location in the deepest part of Garen's grave.
Yeah, where both of our runners died on the way down to the first time. Ursine gonna find out that green dragons have hurt more here, and so she decides that since she's real close to Caitlin, she's gonna take the moment and head for the hills, run for her life. Which gives her the money to, of course, buy a large shield and get that bit of a defensive upgrade here, another 6 defense.
And Ursine not even bothering, I don't think, to... Ah, okay. Ursine found a silver shield in Rimmeldar. Okay. I was wondering why he didn't even bother checking the other 2 shops, at least. But that explains it. And again, with the Metal Slime, first attack hurt more. But this time she has the resources to survive it.
Looks like Vriaeliss is beelining the grave at this point in time. He knows what the end of this story is.
Yep, he knows what's up. And by process of elimination, we can also determine that the Death Necklace is somewhere in Charlock, although, as things stand now, this is not looking like a seed where that's going to come into play.
Unless the game decides to suddenly grace them with like 60 health over the next 3 levels, that's not gonna happen.
Correct, although that is not out of the question.
It has certainly happened before. Ursine drops her second Metal Slime of the seed here, so keeping in it here, and then of course finds out that Erdrick's armor is not really adequate defense against a blue dragon's teeth either.
Nope, not without heal more, it's not.
Tilo is asking where was Mountain Cave. It was, I believe, far from home. I don't remember precisely which direction, but it is on the main continent. There is nothing on continent 2 this seed.
Right, I'm not sure we even saw anybody make it to continent 2.
Ursine was just there when she cast Outside to pop across the void of Swamp Cave, and then got ambushed by a Metal Slime, followed up by eaten by a blue dragon.
Okay.
Look, I'm not very good at mapping, I'm sorry.
There are reasons I draw maps when I play this game.
I mean, I do too, but I'm not playing tonight.
Yes, that is my problem as well.
Though, of course, when we talk about what's coming next, of course, for the Dragon Warrior Randomizer, is that tomorrow there's, what, like, 1 billion races on Sunday again?
Yes, I believe it's another 8 races. I think one of them might not be restreamed, but other than that, yeah, we have a full buffet, all you can eat, of Dragon Warrior Randomizer action, starting at, I believe, 12:30 p.m. and going essentially all day after that.
Yeah, we'll be playing Dragon Warrior Randomizer as a group deep into the night. Vriaeliss is there. Vriaeliss has picked up the silver harp here all the way at the bottom of the grave now, and now needs to find a way to die.
Yep, we're gonna see if Vriaeliss opts for a gold grind here. It looks like that does look like what they're trying to do, but they have a slight problem with actually having Erdrick's armor on, which is great when you want to go exploring and whatnot. Actually, not so good when you are trying to do a Death Warp.
You know, I guess not knowing what stats are to come after level 11 wants to make sure they have the security of the Silver Shield in hand. And they're not even finding a single encounter at this point.
Here's a Magic Wyvern, that should help. And going to just continually adjust the Fighter's Ring to ensure that this Magic Wyvern kills him. Meanwhile, question from chat, what's the 16 next to Ursine's name mean? That is the death counter. Or the COD counter, we'll sometimes call it.
The number of times the sad state of affairs of your HP reaching the total of 0.
That is right. And Vriaeliss to grab a Fighter's Ring again.
Yep, just making sure to open all the rest of the chests so that they can get their gold grind. Oh, no.
They only opened one chest in the grave.
They didn't stop by the top and grab the top 3. Oh, no. Gold grind stopped by player error, which occasionally happens because, you know, you're so excited to get your last part of Go mode and you set yourself up for the gold grind perfectly and then just, forget the one minor detail, which...
Yep. Actually, the worst part of this is he could have salvaged this.
By getting the silver harp from behind.
By trading in the silver harp, but he apparently does not even want multiple Staves of Rain. You get multiple Staves of Rain if you have the gold grind activated. I could have found out, actually, in my last seed, but I didn't.
Wait, you can get more than one Staff of Rain?
I'm not sure. But if I had done the math right, had he not cast outside, the chest would have been there to pick up again. I don't know if there would have been anything in it the second time. We have McGrew, the creator of the Dragon Warrior Randomizer, confirming cannot.
Ruining our fun. Thanks, McGrew.
Yeah, thanks. It wouldn't surprise me if it was possible in early versions of the randomizer. Maybe when the Silver Harp trade first came in. Because I know early on I had gotten like 3 and 4 Erdrick's tokens out of chests because I just kept forgetting which chest was which in the treasuries. I was trying to do my gold grind.
I do that too. That's why I've started writing it down, because otherwise I'll never remember.
Oh, you want proof from the Descendant? Here's all the proof. I am the Descendant of Erdrick.
Like, I am the descendant of the descendant of the descendant of Erdrick. Dang it, we're gonna do this. So Vriaeliss is hiked all the way back out here to Garanum, knowing that there's a jerk down here who's willing to, at this time, give him a rainbow drop because, actual descendant of Erdrick done all the right thing.
Yes, indeed.
Ursine about to find out the bad news about Continent 2 being one island of nothing. And a blue dragon, too.
Oh, fun. So, the 3 key items that you need to make the Rainbow Bridge, get the Rainbow Drop, and therefore move on to Charlock to defeat the Dragon Lord are the Staff of Rain, the Stones of Sunlight, and Urdrick's Token. And you have to trade in the Silver Harp to get the Staff of Rain. As I mentioned earlier, Urdrick's Sword, not technically required, but very helpful. Urdrick's Armor, also technically not required to beat the game, but practically, if you're in a situation where you're considering taking on the Dragon Lord without Urdrick's Armor, you're either playing a very wacky flag set, or you have already lost it.
Or for some odd reason, your stats are absolutely through the roof.
Also that. Meanwhile, here we see the short Charlock for the first time. Short Charlock means you enter and you're on the bottom floor. And the extra staircase here that you see is a shortcut to the vanilla chest, or the judge's table, as we like to call it. Unfortunately, or fortunately for our runners, unfortunately for us, you already got Urdrick's Sword, and it doesn't look like the Death Necklace is going to be in play, but if you were curious, it was in the bottom right chest, or what we like to call the $150 chest, if you go by the pyramid parlance.
Good news for Ursine. She's on the right track here, rediving here into the grave to find the 2 chests that she didn't before. Not making any headway finding Mountain Cave, decides to go to greener known pastures here, and ends up being in the right place at the right time.
Yes, the question is, will she be able to make it down to those 2 chests, given some of the enemies in here?
I mean, we've got decent agility now. We've got 74 hit points. We've got Urdrick's Armor. She's even going to tag up this Magic Wyvern here because she can.
Right, she's not in terrible shape as far as that goes, but this being the Dragon Warrior Randomizer, 1 run of bad luck can ruin your day.
Yeah, 1 run of bad luck and you can lose the seed by like 30 minutes.
That is true enough.
But it looks like Vriaeliss is very happy to see just stacks and stacks of green dragons here in Charlock, right?
Meanwhile, reaching level 12. 2 power, not going to do it. 26 HP is nice.
I mean, Vriaeliss is right in the sweet spot now, so we know that Ursine will have the hit points at least at level 12. Vriaeliss will definitely have the hit points at level 13 for a safer fight against the Dragon Lord, because 104 attack power just not going to do it at this point.
That is correct. Generally, you want to start considering trying to defeat the Dragon Lord at around 130 attack power if you're more conservative like me, 125 if you like to gamble a bit more or you have more MP.
I mean, 107 MP does kind of qualify as more MP, let's be real honest here.
That is true. That would be 13 Eomors, I believe. I'm doing the math right.
Yep, which means you can count on successfully getting in 15 swings on the Dragon Lord at 150 to 165 hit points, which means you need to do an average of 11 damage, so since it's your attack power divided by 2 for the top end and then quartered for the bottom end, getting to 11 in the middle is, I believe, doable at 8 to 16.
Yes, so that would be around...
Round 132.
132, yeah.
It's actually slightly lower, but yeah. Oh, there it is. Vriaeliss has found the money here.
Yep, it is an Axe Knight, and Axe Knights have hurt more, because of course they do.
Ursine trying to just take out this Magic Wyvern before it ends her trip down to the Silver Harp here.
As I was saying, but she does manage to take it out.
Also, a thing that we did not notice about level 12. Level 12 gave Vriaeliss, did give Vriaeliss heal more.
Yes, so now it's just a matter of grinding up for the stats. Oh, I see an AK-47 there. Gets away.
Ursine close to the goal here, pops the Fairy Flute to assure a run from the Golem here, because dying would be very bad right now. That 8 seconds, more than worth it to survive that fight.
Yes. They're extremely close now.
She is probably a fight away here. Vriaeliss pings down an Arbor Knight 12 hit points at a time.
And Ursine reaching level 12 now.
For how the seed is broken for her, she's doing an extremely good job of keeping up on experience here.
Yeah, I think if anything, she's actually closed the gap slightly.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's down 500 here. I mean, that's going to extend in a hurry right now. Israel is going to be is very focused on picking up experience. But,
Yes.
you know, the fact that, you know, she's gotten beaten to her Erdrick Sword, she got beaten to the Gold Grind the first time, she got beaten to the armor by a wide margin, and she is still in this race.
Right. The big thing is going to be that the Erdrick Sword is in the mountain cave, which she still has not found yet.
But yeah, she is definitely showing how to kind of explore and grind and play the game on fairly low resources throughout, which is really nice. You know, Vriaeliss, of course, did take advantage of getting to kind of break out to an earlier
Right, the earlier Erdrick's armor very helpful there. Question in chat, did anybody check Hawk's Nest? No. There was no particular reason to, and when they found Hawk's Nest, they were too weak, had no resources. It really didn't matter what was going to be there, they were going to lose. And then later we found the 2 possible overworld items in the overworld, and Erdrick's armor wasn't full, so I had no particular reason to go check.
Yeah, I mean, on the flip side of the coin, you're going up to Garanum anyway to check the to grab your rainbow drop. You know, it feels like it's probably important to at least get that knowledge while you're up there, because if it's Axe Knights and you know that you don't need to go into Sherlock for them, even though, you know, Vriaeliss has found them here, you know, you can get them right away, and you're just 6 steps away from being able to patch yourself up.
Right.
So no MP left on Vriaeliss' side, completely taps themselves out of resources, and then takes a fall to the Axe Knight. Not much of a shocker there.
Right, not really a surprise there. Not the kind of the expected outcome at that point.
Archfield Bunk letting us know Axe Knights have heal more and hurt more. Oh, that's kind of gross.
Okay. Now we have the gold grind set up here off of the treasury. So Vriaeliss is going to pick up a silver shield, or at least grind up the gold for a silver shield.
And then make the hike over to Rimidar to grab a silver shield, most likely. I think that's the shortest walk.
I believe so. And then, I don't believe we've actually discussed the mechanics of just what the heck is going on here on Vriaeliss' side. So, the way grabbing chests in this game works is, instead of permanently removing the chest, the game just sort of moves it off to another section of memory. Basically to prevent soft locks. If you accidentally grab a key item, but your inventory's full, and you accidentally give up the item, well, great, now what do? The thing is that memory can only hold 8 chests at a time. If you manage to fill up that memory and try to grab a 9th chest, the game says, oh, I can't move this chest, so I just won't, but you can still have what's in it. And so you can just open the chest over and over and over again. And the other component of that is that the chests in the throne room basically always count as 3 chests. So even though Vriaeliss, you saw only opened either 6 or 7 chests in the Charlock treasury, when they died, they got kicked back to the throne room, which put another 3 chests in that memory.
Yep, that's a safety mechanism to stop you from getting those chests a second time, because it would let you get a magic key directly at the start of the game.
And then the other minor thing about that is that when you grab an item out of a chest that doesn't disappear, for whatever reason, the game grabs the wrong text string. And so the game will tell you that you got, for instance, a chainmail like we saw here, but that's not the item you actually got out of the chest. You have to go into your status screen or your item inventory to see what it is you actually got.
My favorite was opening up one of those chests. I got Erdrick's sword, and then I opened up another chest and got the actual Erdrick's sword instead.
Very nice. I've actually seen the ball of light in a chest. That one is fun. The ball of light, of course, being the kind of MacGuffin that the Dragon Lord steals to kick the whole plot of the game off. When you defeat the Dragon Lord, it says you have the ball of light, blah blah blah, evil is vanquished. It's nice just kind of finding that hanging around in the starting treasury the whole time.
The jettest of jet seats. But yes, Ursine's down here, gonna go ahead and kind of figure out what's going on in Charlock Castle here, while Vriaeliss intends upon trying to grind up some levels. 108 MP, only got 1 MP at level 13, but...
But yeah, so remember how we said that it was not out of the question to get 60 HP in 3 levels. Well, we're pretty close to that. Especially on Ursine's side, Death Necklace starting to suddenly look like a much more plausible play.
I believe with these hit point totals, they think they'll just miss it. I think they'll come up 1 short. They'll be at 131. But I could be wrong on my math there.
I do like Ursine, woman after my own heart, always betting on vanilla, always betting on the judges' table.
Well, she also doesn't have the sword yet, so she had to make that quick dip there. And when she realizes that she's gambled on getting the sword in here, and she's not gonna get it.
Yeah, it's very true. Now she's thinking, uh-oh, now what?
Now she knows she's in trouble. Now she.
I don't know if Ursine has seen a silver shield, or if she just doesn't particularly care about it.
I mean, with the way that the hit points are kind of playing out at this point, she might just not care about it, but we'll see.
Right. Also, a little bit less important with the short Charlock. Although it does mean barring some... Well, she'll get an okay agility up, I believe, on this level as well. But
yeah, I mean, she's
barring an influx of agility, she is going to get smacked around by the Dragon Lord with 66 defense.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like she'll probably pick up another 10 agility, so 5 more defense. So she'll hit up to 71, but that's still, 86, 71 is 15. That's still potentially having to heal more on 52. But yeah, so looks like Vriaeliss was trying to pick on green dragons over here in the desert rather than trying to fight Axe Knights here, which I think was kind of a sensible play.
Alright, I think the Axe Knight is a little bit weaker in terms of hit point count.
Yeah, but doesn't stick a stop spell on this one, and it heals up to full.
And the heal more, yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, this has been a very difficult grind, honestly, here, but I think Vriaeliss is making a very good show of it with picking on green dragons, using the desert tiles to get the extra encounters.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best play here, especially now that you have heal more.
Ursine is far afield right now, looking for the mountain cave at this point because she knows that she absolutely had better get a sword out of there.
Right. Especially with the strength looking the way it is.
It amazes me that they could even pick up Erdrick's sword in the first place. This could be one of those seeds, though, where all of a sudden we see, like, 38 power at level 15 or something, and then that just breaks the seed open.
Oh, of course. That has certainly happened before.
Yeah, so Ursine has found Mountain Cave. She is on the way now. One chest away. It's the top chest. She won't have to do anything else in here.
Right, and since she has explored Charlock, unless she does decide to set up. Okay, she does have heal more.
Yep. Just having a bit of a hard time getting through this werewolf because it's still hitting her decently hard.
It's hitting her pretty hard, and werewolves have, I believe, a slightly elevated dodge rate as well. That one did, in fact, dodge. So, but once she grabs the big stick here, unless she wants to set up a gold grind, and it looks like she doesn't, yeah, she knows she has no particular reason to hang around there anymore.
It's time to head for home and then hike down to Charlotte Castle, use the town outside, patch yourself up, and then got to try and get some levels now. Wow, that was not that was every stat but the one that mattered there.
Zero power! I love it!
I guess we're going to be here for a little while longer tonight, everybody.
Yes. So, while we wait for both our runners to get some levels here, I just want to take a quick moment to thank our restreamer, CD Improv, as well as our tracker, Archfield Monk, for providing you this lovely layout here that you're seeing, as well as just providing the structure and the ability for you to watch these two racers.
Yep, and of course, thanks to RPG Limit Break for assisting in hosting this tournament season for the Dragon Warrior Randomizer. I believe it's the first time that Dragon Warrior has paired off with RPG Limit Break, and of course, we're grateful for that because they've been a fantastic host, as well as Randomania, who does make the tracker layout and hold all of that for us as well. So, they're all awesome. Just such a great group of people to work with, and we're very grateful for that.
Yes, and as well, I would be remiss if I did not thank McGrew, who is the creator and main programmer of the Dragon Warrior Randomizer as well. So without McGrew, you would also not be seeing the entertainment here today.
Absolutely. Alright, so Ursine's maximum hit points are actually not 131. They are 130. You could technically use the Death Necklace at this point. You'll go to 96 health, though, which is a little bit dicey. You give up all opportunity to get doubles.
I believe with the way the math works now, I believe it would actually take them to 97. But nonetheless, you would still be giving up essentially all opportunity for doubles, and as well, Ursine's defense power is still not great, so depending on how risk-averse she is, she may end up having to double heal more anyway.
Yep, Teal on Archfield Monk, of course, letting us know that 97 is the right number, correcting me, because, man, it's been a while since I've seen that rounding error.
Looks like the Spike Tile and Armored Knight.
Which Ursine seems pretty happy about, honestly. She looks like she's going to town here. They've got Hurt More without Heal More, so she's just damming the torpedoes and going in on AKs here.
Yeah, you might as well.
I mean, it's a static grind spot. It's, you know, technically faster.
Yeah, and the experience yield per Armor Knight is pretty good. It's 172 per.
Yeah, there's a couple different options. Since we don't have Hurt More yet, though, we can't burn Hurt More to do the first hit on them with a very high rate of accuracy. So it's just going to be swing for the fences and cast Heal or Heal More every couple of fights. The biggest thing is this a trickle of strength, or is this a big stream of strength that's going to come in at 15? Because, you know, a small amount of strength where Vriaeliss can't Death Necklace, where Ursine can take advantage of the extra 10 strength, but minus 25 hit points of the Death Neck, you know, could come into play here.
Right. I'll notice definitely seeing the stark differences now in the agility and HP stats for our two runners, as a result of the different name builds.
Yep, but at this point, I believe the only number that we care about is power. Just for consideration, of course, right now, if they were to engage the Dragon Lord, they would do a mighty 1 to 2 damage.
Yes, if for some reason you wanted to attempt the Dragon Lord, which you do not, your best bet would actually be hashtag YOLO swag overload, hurt more strats. Actually, they can't even do that. Because they don't.
You need to have Hurt More to swag properly. You can't swag without it.
I mean, I feel like if you're trying swag stats with 105 attack power, you've sort of already dug your own grave. It's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I mean, you know, you only need to land it 3 times. You have a 1 in 16 chance of landing it each time. Maybe buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
Current state of affairs here in terms of grinding, as Vriaeliss is on a green dragon. We've got Ursine here, who's decided that Armored Knights are going to be the play this evening. Given that Vriaeliss was able to get to most of the major goals, you know, earlier, has extended a 400 experience lead into roughly a 1400 experience lead here.
Yep. And because they are in Charlock, they do also have the advantage of, if in theory they do get a giant attack power boost, they will already be kind of in Charlock, ready to engage the Dragon Lord if they decide to go for it.
I mean, right now, with considering that they do have 11 heal mores, we would still need to be looking at a strength gain of like 35-ish to kind of make this a viable Dragon Lord fight to get to about 140 attack power.
Sure, it is not likely, but if it does happen.
I mean, you feel real good if it happens, because, you know, you realize that it probably has won you the race.
Right. I don't know if I would make the play expecting it to happen, but...
Here comes level 15.
Well, 13 is nice. It's not 35.
10 HP, though, puts Death Necklace... Vriaeliss is putting the Death Necklace on immediately. Here we go, folks. I think Vriaeliss is done with this season. That is a... I have equipped my Death Necklace before doing anything else. All in, ready to go. 128 attack power with 15 heal mores.
Right, so doing 7 to 14 is a slightly below 10.5 average.
16 swings on 15 heal mores is pretty safe, honestly.
Yeah, with the short Charlock, yeah, I have to say I like this play.
Yep, gonna exit out, heal up to full. 99 hit points, 15 heal mores. Just needs to safely kill one Axe Knight along the way down without using up MP here for a pretty safe fight against the Dragon Lord.
Right, so the Death Necklace in the vanilla game curses you, and that is it. In the randomizer, it has been given some added functionality where it gives you a bonus 10 attack power, but at the cost of 25% of your maximum hit points. So, Vriaeliss now has 128 attack power and is down to 99 for a maximum HP total. With 91 defense, that's going to be a non-issue.
Could theoretically get two melee attacks low enough to get a double, too, but that's probably not going to happen. Vriaeliss burns a heal more here on this Armored Knight.
Now this Armored Knight not playing nicely. There we go.
Never letting go. That's what Armor Knights are all good for.
And taking on the Axe Knight on the spike tile. When you fight an enemy on a spike tile, you do have to defeat it to move past it to the south. When you flee from a spike tile, it will always kick you off to the north. Or to the west, if you're on the Hawksness spike tile.
Oh, here we go. Vriaeliss is a fool, taking on the Dragon Lord. Going in on 56 here, does not herb up, but does not get the back attack, so off to a good start and starting on 11.
Doesn't get back attacked. Meanwhile, it looks like Vriaeliss, or I'm sorry, Ursine, gonna do sort of a mini grind and dive here, looking to get level 15. On the way here.
Yep, Vriaeliss on 28 right now. Wow, that's not a great roll there. 35. Has had all below average rolls so far.
Yeah, there's a 10, still slightly below where you want to see.
Yeah, 10's right on that line, but we have not seen a 12 yet here. It's a bad attack too, so sitting on 67.
Meanwhile, Ursine gonna fight this Axe Knight.
This could be a little close, but I think Vriaeliss may last swing this at this point. There's a 13 for 101.
Ursine burns a heal more here.
109. 3 heal mores to go. Actually does not make it at this point. 116.
Yikes.
Absolutely does not make it here now. All of a sudden, now it's completely out of reach.
Wow, another 7. Yeah, this is not.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3 is not going to do it here.
No. And can't even go for the swag overload.
Yeah, 133 needs this to be basically 2 max rolls. 142. Nope, does not get there. 153 is not enough. Does get to the kill range, but it's 154 or higher. Get out of here. You're cursed. We don't love you anymore. Go find a town or something.
Yes, indeed. And
for our lore in chat, the range is 150 to 165 health for the Dragon Lord. And now all of a sudden, things are there's a chance for Ursine there.
Yep. Oh no. Depending on how temperamental this Axe Knight is. There we go. That's going to get her level 15. I imagine she is going to bail out, restock, and this just got very interesting.
Yeah, she's going to be a little bit higher up in the all health total here too. Like she has at least a chance of catching a double during this fight because she'll be in like the mid hundreds. She stops considering.
Yep, I think she's going, but that's going to be counteracted by the fact that the Dragon Lord will be hitting for, I believe, a maximum of either 50 or 51.
Yeah. So she does need to be a little bit careful here, but it looks like this is the play, is she's going to pop the Death Necklace for 128. She's going to have 15 heal mores. I think she's feeling all right about this. No, it looks like maybe she's not comfortable. Maybe she's not going to pop the necklace here.
Oh.
Taking a moment, reconsidering turning around.
Oh no, the sleep from the Rogue Scorpion.
Desert, please. Alright, Vriaeliss slight lead at this point in time. Desperately far from level 16, so that's not in play. Armored Knight doesn't want to let go. He knows he needs that 15th heal more right now. He
knows.
He would have gotten there with it. He knows that he would have gotten there with it.
Yep. Ursine checking her resources. 5 herbs.
Ursine with the big long walk across the top here.
Getting away from the AK.
Quickly dashing away from a green dragon right behind as well. Vriaeliss is through the Axe Knight here, but finds another AK on the way.
Alright. Ursine gonna pop an herb.
Vriaeliss cracks a heal more again, so Vriaeliss is down to 14 again. This is going to be dicey. We saw that he fell a little shy on rolls at 153 the first time. An ambush could just take this out of his hands completely. Ursine gets there on 120, pops the necklace. Here we go. It is time. Double Dragon Lord. Chat, help us out with the math. I'm going to lose track real fast. Ursine's decided it's time to pop some herbs here to try and not get a hurt more to start this fight. She's got plenty. She's just used them up. There's a stop spell. I think she's going to be through with 108 hit points into the Dragon Lord 2 here. Oh no, that said it was low rolled.
Oh boy, Ursine using her last herb here. Getting hurt more.
I'm going to have to go in at 86, no choice.
Swing. Hope for the best.
Ursine does have the extra heal more, and does not get the back attack, though.
Unfortunately, does get Fire Breath. So no opening double.
Ursine basically still unlikely to get a double here because she's just going to get attacked. She could get attacked for 50.
And speaking of the attack for 50, there it is.
Yep, we knew it could happen.
Another attack for 48.
Yeah, I mean, without the Silver Shield, the Dragon Lord cutting deep. Looks like Chad is staying. Vriaeliss is rolling slightly better this time, and slightly better might just be all that he needs at this point. But again, with that back attack,
Yeah.
97 at this point is just that's too far behind. 108. Yeah, this is a failed fight.
This is kind of dicey.
No, this is past dicey at this point. This is I'm swinging wildly at this point.
That was 120.
Ursine's averaging 9 a swing, by the way, as well right now, so slightly behind the pace also. Decides to run from the Dragon Lord.
Runs away. Realizes he's not gonna... Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't want to deal with being cursed or sent all the way back. Runs away, casts outside with the last 8 mana. We can concentrate on Ursine at 106 right now. She is pacing pretty well right now. Could probably use a 13 here. Gets an 8, so 114.
Yeah, but Ursine making her own luck there, swinging on 47, and being fortunate that the resulting attack and/or fire did not kill her.
Yeah, but that is going to do it. 124 with 4 swings to go here. It looks like 132. A lot of races won this week by swinging on 47, not going to lie.
Yep, 47 or even less.
140. We have 3 swings to go. 8, 16, 24 would put only 165 out of the hit range. That 12 is going to seal the deal, though.
That's going to help, yeah.
2 sevens gets us to... 2 sevens, I believe, gets us to 166 here. It's a 9. It's enough. 161. Dragon Lord goes down. Get your GG's. Ursinedasyure, who is going to head for home in just a moment and finish this seed. Man, Emptyeye, double Dragon Lord, huh?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Just right to the wire there. Ursine, I think, again, her ability to keep the experience flowing even with limited resources out in the world. Picking good fights, catching good encounters, a little bit of Metal Slime luck, not gonna lie. But, you know, it all breaks together, and she's gonna take it home, and she's gonna move to 3-1, and we'll be seeing her in the round of 32.
That is right. And the official SRL time, 1 hour, 31 minutes flat. And
Yeah,
it does look like Vriaeliss is gonna try to finish this out. So...
yeah, this will be a tough one to watch back for Vriaeliss, I think, kind of watching it. This one sort of slipped through his fingers tonight.
Yeah, it is unfortunate, but that is the Dragon Warrior Randomizer in a nutshell. It can giveth and it can taketh away. I have certainly been on both ends of that, so...
Yeah, taketh is what many randomizers do, and this one is absolutely no exception.
People asking if there is anybody still undefeated in the tournament, and this is a 5-round Swiss-style tournament, which means at the end of it there will actually be 2 people with a 5-0 record.
Yeah, currently looking at the standings right now at 4-0, Mr. Holmes, who beat Smashy, Ryguy beat Lorgon this week, High Spirits beat Jay Coper, Edge and Jackamus, I believe, are racing tomorrow for that fourth 4-0 spot at this point. It sounds like I heard a beep. Is that Ursinedasyure who popped in on?
It is. Good evening.
Good evening and GG.
Thank you. Oh, I feel like I was behind the whole seed, so I don't know how I pulled that off.
Yeah, just a bit of news. You were behind basically the entire seed.
I could believe it. I felt like I got... Yeah, it took me forever to get started, then I couldn't find Mountain Cave. I'm glad I dove Grave, though, and did find the silver.
Yeah, that was a heck of a gamble, certainly, cleaning it out. 2 chests, I think, feels like a pretty good play, honestly, so can't really fault you for that. The major thing, though, was that basically right at the start of the seed, when Vriaeliss struck out to the east a little bit before you, but struck out east and north and found the 2 towns right off the bat, found Hawks and Garenham right at the start. And then sort of just started extending that into a slow experience and fast exploration lead. So they ended up having a broadsword right off the bat, and you were grinding out to like level 6 with your bare hands.
Yeah, I'm sure. And then I've completely, when I did dive Grave, I forgot to do a gold grind, so that didn't help either. So, yeah, I can't believe I pulled it off. So, whew. Sorry, I'm still a little...
I've certainly been there. So, question from chat: how did you feel to find coal so late, given how close it actually was to the start and had Erdrick's armor? Because that was another big thing, was that Vriaeliss found coal rather early on, so was able to explore a little bit more safely.
Yeah, absolutely. When I found that, I was like, oh man. I was a little uncertain because it was completely in swamp, but I mean, if you had heal or whatever by then it wasn't a big deal. So yeah, was definitely bummed, and yeah.
Vriaeliss took a moment to grind out to 16, completed the grind to 16, and saw the really bad news there. 1 hit, 1 strength, 3 agility, 1 hit point, and Emptyeye no magic point.
I did see that, but honestly, at this point, it would just feel like rubbing it in. So
that's legitimate. I am completely behind not going in on that one. The thing is that Vriaeliss knows that the Dragon Lord is high on hit points because on his first dive down did get into kill range, barely at 153.
Oh wow, do we know how many hit points he has?
You got to 161, so it's gotta be between 154 and 161.
I see, thanks to our tracker here, it looks like 159 was the magic number.
Yeah, the tough thing is Vriaeliss could have come down with 15 heal mores, and would have been able to do it without a back attack. Ended up burning a pair of heal mores before the fight and took a back attack the second time and was well out of reach.
Yeah, wow, back attack's rough. I mean, I know for me, I swung on 47, so I didn't feel like I was safe either.
Right, I did notice that. I do like that aggression, especially in that spot where, it's doable, but it's kind of marginal. You need the average rolls or slightly above it, and it seemed like in your attempt and in Vriaeliss' both attempts now, even average was hard to come by, it seemed like.
Yeah, there was a lot of bad rolling on both sides, certainly. It just happens to be that your swing on 47, it's basically at that point, even with you could get meleeed for 47 to 50. It's still like a 84-ish% play. It's still an excellent play. And of course, every play looks good when it pays off, but it really paid off for you tonight.
Yeah, I don't typically like to gamble, but like I said, I felt like I was behind the whole race, so I felt like I just needed to finish, and if I didn't, the nice thing about Short Sherlock is it's not that big of a mistake.
Yes, indeed. Oh, looks like I'm about to be joined by my co-commentator. Come on up.
Yeah, Vriaeliss is going to hammer it out to 17 here with Hurtmore. I'm just not feeling good about that low percentage chance of finishing up this seed on the stats currently.
Alright, gonna cast outside. Oh, here he is! Say hi! Say hi! Oh, okay. You're gonna do that instead. Alright. Oh, you're opening up there. You're opening up there. Stay there.
Yeah, of note, Ursine is the better Dragon Warrior randomizer player in the family. It's okay, you didn't say it, Ursine, it's fine.
Hey, I know he's pretty happy for me for being making the playoffs, so now let's see if we can get there. But if he can't, I have some bragging rights.
Alright, I have Mario the cat on my lap here. Now, of course, he's super shy, now that he's hopped up here.
Aww.
Maybe you heard him meowing, as he was trying to jump up here. And you don't want to.
But yeah, Ursine 3-1 basically means next week is sort of a week off. I mean, you're playing for seeding. You're basically playing to kind of try to avoid one of the top players, certainly. So, are you going to take next week in and try and push out hard to 4-1, or are you going to just kind of try to have a good time next week?
I think I'm just gonna have a good time and enjoy next week and relax.
Well, you have certainly earned that right. As Vriaeliss continues his march on to level 17 here. Ursine, any final thoughts on that seed?
I don't like late heal mores and late hurt mores, so a combination of both made it a little stressful, but it worked out. So, yeah, I'm just glad they eventually. Well, actually, I never got hurt more, so I'm glad heal more eventually.
Yes, that is true. You never did get hurt more. And on that note, congratulations on not mismenuing at any point during the Dragon Lord 2 fight. Because I'm so used to tapping up to get through heal more, or to get through hurt more, to get to heal more. But I'm sure I would have tried to repel the Dragon Lord at some point during that fight.
Yeah, I did it several times. I think when I first got heal, I was like double tapping and repelling or something, and I'm like, oh no! So yeah, thank you. It definitely is habit to do that. I just want to say thank you for CD and commentary and Archfield Monk. So thank you guys, and I think I'm gonna go.
Alright, you are very welcome, and have a wonderful night. Enjoy your slot in the bracket round.
And Vriaeliss is back, ready to take down this Dragon Lord after a bit more experience to pick up level 17 here. Game, please. Game, why? 2, 5, 2, and 4 here for Vriaeliss. That's one more average damage on the Dragon Lord than his attempts at 15, though.
That now gets him up to an even, well, I guess slightly below 11.
However, I think he still also knows he needs all 15 heal mores, and Armor Knight decides to not let go, so he's got a bit of a hike in front of him again.
Yep. So this here is kind of the beauty and the pain of the Dragon Warrior Randomizer. Whatever the margin of victory turns out to be here time-wise, the actual skill level is much, much closer than that. And if Vriaeliss had gotten even average rolls in that Dragon Lord 2 fight, either of them, the margin would either be much closer or they would have won outright.
Yeah, it absolutely does not. You know, this time differential is not going to really show the difference, and the skill that Vriaeliss put into the first hour of this seed for sure. Vriaeliss' time deciding to cast Heal More, Repel, getting all the spells up here. Probably going to take a quick in stop before dipping back into Charlock one last time.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Because we want it to be one last time. I mean, again, Vriaeliss has fought hard for this one tonight.
Yes, the other good thing is that with 4 extra MP, not enough for an extra heal more, but it does give him a little bit of MP to burn on stop spells, or probably mainly stop spells if he opts to burn it on anything on his way down to the Dragon Lord here. Anthranos also noting it is 1 free mini heal, or regular heal. Other bit of good news here is he is defense breaking green dragons. He takes on this Axe Knight. Very briefly, defense breaking, once you get above a certain amount of defense power on an enemy, and it's different for every enemy, also defense breaking Axe Knights. It's nice. Essentially, the game switches to using a completely different damage calculation, where the overall average is much lower than what it had been previously. And we call that defense breaking when it switches over to that second formula.
And here we go again, one more time around the line.
I want to note that Vriaeliss showing there that the Dragon Lord's throne is made out of shop counters. Going around to the bottom to speak with the Dragon Lord here.
And try to buy that really pretty staff.
It's a pretty sweet staff, and a pretty sweet cloak that the Dragon Lord is wearing here.
Yeah, no, Dragon Lord knows what's up in terms of fashion, that's for sure.
He truly is the Swaggin Lord.
He's also the Hurtmore Lord tonight, because, you know, this is kind of how it rolls here.
He is.
Done run out of herbs, just decides to take the hack here, going in at 76.
And the back attack, oh boy.
Takes a swing on 46 immediately, though, doesn't even think about it.
And it pays off. Making his own luck.
I mean, at 48, he was an 87.5% chance of surviving there, so you certainly go for it.
Yes, and again, getting just terrible rolls here at the start. There's
Look at... Hey, a 15, there's a max roll. Feels like the first max roll of the night.
Really does. And the nice 23 there, unfortunately followed up with a Fire Breath for 48.
Yeah, but there was a swing for 13 in there as well, so he was able to put some hurt on the Dragon Lord. There's a 14. The rolls are coming up a little bit stronger. The extra heal more is in play here.
Yes, that'll definitely help. There's a 9.
And then a minimum 7 right behind it. Can you just not for once? Can you just
yeah. Back 4. 24.
20? Hey!
And gets followed by 7.
On. I mean, he's pacing for 170 right now. He should be fine, but
still. And I swear I was going to say double attacks were technically in play here, and then he went and got one.
yeah, it was not a high chance, but 2 low melees, and hey. Trying for swag. Which means he's got the math. I don't know. That felt a little risky.
That seemed kinda, yeah. Alright. Well.
Unless he's doing a better job counting than we are.
Oh,
yeah,
he knew what was up.
He knew.
There it is. Starts the walk of shame back before remembering about return. Oh, he's gonna take the tour. He's gonna show us the little Easter egg here, talking to King Lorik in the throne room. Cycling through the decks.
I appreciate that so much.
Oh, and then talking to King Lorik from the side.
And then talking to the air below King Lorik.
Oh boy. And there it is. The official SRL time, 1 hour, 50 minutes, 27 seconds. GG to Vriaeliss. Worth it in the end there, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna, if anything, go out in style. Alright, and Vriaeliss has politely declined the interview to go and get some sleep, which really cannot blame him at this point. That was a bit of a haul tonight, Emptyeye, but that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I did even enjoy the end of there, because we took the little mini victory tour. But as you say, I cannot blame Vriaeliss for passing up on the interview, especially with that ending there. In his shoes, I would be more than a little salty at that point.
Yeah.
Even knowing what the randomizer can do, knowing it intellectually and actually having it happen to you are two very different things, and I can speak from experience on that.
Yeah, that second Dragon Lord fight especially, where it just got out of hand right off the bat with that back attack and he had to run away, that was just real difficult.
Right. So, any final thoughts here, Demarine?
I think everybody should come out and watch as many of the races tomorrow as they can, because there's 8 on the schedule, 7 to be restreamed. Keep on coming out and supporting all of these wonderful runners. You should obviously be following Ursine and Vriaeliss as well, because they're both fantastic. But yeah, I think that was a really good show of kind of the agony and the ecstasy when it comes to the Dragon Warrior Randomizer.
Absolutely. And before we sign off here, it looks like we're going to be sending you all over to the Speed Gaming 2 channel. They're doing a Zelda 1 randomizer week 1 qualifier race. The Zelda 1 randomizer, along with the Dragon Warrior randomizer, really one of the original randomizers out there. That one is also a lot of fun. So stick around for that. We'll send you all over there. And in the meantime, thank you to our restreamer, CD Improv, our tracker, Archfield Monk. Thank you, of course, to our runners, Ursine, Vriaeliss. Thank you to McGrew for creating this thing. Thank you to my co-commentator, Emerine. This was a lot of fun. And thank you all for watching and checking out the Dragon Warrior Randomizer. Again, tomorrow we have all the Dragon Warrior Randomizer you could want, and maybe even more. But for now, this is Emptyeye signing off. Have a good night, everybody.